Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome in. Today is part 3 of Spring Awakening, and we are going to do a background with this girl that is very budget friendly, very quick, very easy. So if you're up for that, stick around. Okay y'all, we're going to do the background for this girl. And I'm going to show you what we're going to need. Something that you may actually already have in your house. We're going to use regular old Crayola Chalk. We're going to use some makeup cotton rounds. And we're going to use regular old hairspray. I'm going to show you some examples of, an example of just using chalk. This is Hannah Carlson, Tales from City Among the Stars. And I did this page here with just regular Crayola chalk. I used the cotton rounds to blend it into the paper. And then because it's chalky, it will transfer, or probably will transfer if you don't fix it down with something. So that is where the hairspray comes in. Now, I did have somebody ask me in my comments not long ago if I used any kind of fixative on my pages, and I said that I just use regular hairspray. And then somebody said that the hairspray will turn your pages yellow, but I have never had that happen. Let me grab this back again. This I did in May of last year, and nothing's wrong with the page. And then another example of using hairspray is on this page here, because I used actually eyeshadow in the background here, and I sprayed it with hairspray to fix the eyeshadow so it wouldn't transfer, and it's not turning my page yellow. So I guess it depends. I guess it's a possibility. This person said to use a fixative instead. I did look up right before I started filming this video. A workable fixative is about $8 and some change on Amazon. I'll throw a picture of it up here to show you what they're talking about. I have never used that, and I do not have any of that. I'm showing you a way to do a background for under $5. Everything I just showed you, you can get at the Dollar Tree. Very cheap, very quick, very easy. Okay, let's get started. I know that I want to use some red. This is going to be messy. We're messing with chalk, so it is going to be messy. And I've got yellow there. We're going to get an orange out here. Maybe is that blue or purple or what? Blue, purple, we'll see. Not sure if I'm going to use that or not. But yes, you're going to get messy with this. Another thing that you're going to need is something to scrape the chalk off with. This is, what do you call these things? An X-Acto knife or something like that. It's got a blade on it. You don't have to have one of these, but again, if you do want one, I bought this at the Dollar Tree, and it has extra blades with it. But if you don't have one of these, you probably got one of these laying around from some fast food, right? Anything that will allow you to scrape the chalk. So I'm going to take the lightest color, yellow. This is the worst part because I hate the sound of this. But we're just going to scrape it down on the paper. And in theory, well, we might give her some yellow teeth because I didn't color her teeth. But we're going to try to avoid that. In theory, because we've used wax pencil, on this paper, the wax should repel the chalk. So we won't have to worry too much about getting the chalk all over our beautiful picture. We're going to go with that and see what happens. We're just going to take one of these cotton rounds and we're just going to start blending it into the paper. And I'm going to take my little handy brush over here. I'm just going to knock that away because I didn't color anything on her teeth. So I really don't want her teeth to turn yellow. So like I said, we're going to try to avoid that. But this should be a nice quick little video. But we just want to blend that down into the paper. And I try to do it until I don't see any more crumbs. Just really get it in there. And we'll stick with this yellow because we're going to keep the yellow all the way around her. And this is the same way that you would use something like soft pastels, which I happen to have sitting over here. These are soft pastels. This is the Mungio brand, and a lot of people I know have these. There are bigger sets of these. And they're very inexpensive as well. I was just trying to do a background for under $5. And those are a little bit more than that, but they're worth it. I do like using soft pastels. Oil pastels, those are different. Those are very creamy. They're almost like a crayon, but very oily. But we're sticking with this same cotton round. And we're just really blending it in there. And I purposely didn't color this little ribbon thing down here because I knew I was going to put chalk over top of this. So whatever color that turns out, that's what it's going to be. We've got our yellow around there. And because we're blending, it really doesn't matter if we cross-contaminate it a little bit. But we're going to put this orange out just a little bit further, but still on top of it. We're going to try not to create any harsh lines. I'm just scraping that down. My neighbors are going crazy over there. Y'all hear? I'm going to get another cotton round, though. Clean one. Don't really have to. But we're just trying to get a little bit of a darker color right here. We're just sticking with the color palette that we have here. But yeah, I have never used one of those fixatives before. I know a lot of people have, but I've also never had a problem with my pages turning a different color. But I'm glad that person commented that, because apparently it's possible. Just so you're aware. But I'm really not that worried about it. This is just a fun, cheap, easy way to do a background. That's what we're worrying about today. We're going to take the red and kind of do the same thing. I want that orange to be a little bit deeper, and I'm hoping that the red will help it out. But this is the cringiest part of doing it, just because of the sound of this. Get another cotton round. I mean, I suppose you could use the same one. As I said, we're blending it together. I'm kind of bringing it down here, this red, so I can get behind these flowers here. And that is all there is to it. We're just blending the chalk into the background here. And I know I'm repeating myself here, but because of the pencil that's on your main object here, which in this case is this beautiful girl, it should repel the chalk. And I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to speed you up. As you've seen, I've been going back and forth with this red and the blue because I want this part right here to be darker because her light is coming from this way. So that's the reason that I'm doing that. And yeah, this is basically all you do. And you just keep blending it in there until you don't have any more crumbs left. Try not to put your fingers that's got chalk all over it right on top. If you're doing a person's face, don't put, because the pencil should repel it, but if you're pushing down on it with chalky fingers, you might be disappointed when you move your hand. So just beware of that. But let's see what we got here. I think she looks lovely. It's nice and quick, easy, and cheap. Now, the last step is this hairspray. Like I said, take warning from the person that did comment about that. I've never had my pages turn yellow before, but if you just want to give this a try and see if you like it, and you got some hairspray and some chalk and some makeup rounds laying around, you can do that. Now, I stand back a little bit. You're not going to be able to see how far back I stand. But let me move this out the way. That's why I do have another piece of plastic underneath here, because anything you spray, whether you use this or fixative, it's going to spray. So you want to try to protect what you're spraying behind. There you be. She's sprayed. I'm looking at the side over here. Do that a little bit more. There we go. That is our lovely background. Now, in my case, my stuff smells like Aussie. That smell will go away, but obviously you've sprayed something with a scent, even if it's regular hairspray. And yeah, it will have a scent to it for a minute. But that is my quick, easy, budget-friendly background. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. If you stuck around this long in the video, leave me a comment, leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, y'all, bye.